we got him right around Halloween, and that's why his name is Binks. This is his holiday. As I mentioned, I'm hoping that you can help me pick a scary movie to watch on Halloween. My husband and I have a tradition of making pizza and watching a scary movie each year on the actual day. And we had a couple duds the last few years trying new movies on Halloween, so I think I'd like to try an oldie this year so I can be guaranteed success. If you've seen some of my previous collection videos, my DVD flip-throughs, you'll know that I have a bunch of these binders full of DVDs, mostly collected between like high school and early college, back in the day when people were still collecting physical media like that. We've flipped through one of my romance collections and one of my horror collections, so this will be another of my horror movie binder. And let's just jump right in, starting off so strong with Shaun of the Dead. Truly iconic. I am a very big fan of the zombie genre, and to have one that doesn't scare the absolute shit out of me is very nice. I appreciate the comedic elements here. That being said, I think this year I do want an actually scary movie to watch on Halloween, so we'll skip this one. Moving into Secret Window. As a massive Stephen King fan, I very much appreciate every time I rewatch this. I crave Doritos. Oddly enough, my main connection to this movie is Doritos. And I don't think that I'm in the mood right now for Secret Window. But I will say that growing up, I really loved watching this in the fall, late summer, early fall. It's set on a lake, kind of isolated, and the vibes are just immaculate. So if you're looking for something more slow burn, twist at the end, Secret Window's gotcha. Cabin in the Woods. I so appreciate, because I feel like it's very in line with the meta nature of Scream. It is a very self-aware horror movie, and those are always kind of fun to watch. They say it's wicked, twisted, fun, and I would agree with that. I don't think I'm in the mood for this one this Halloween though. House of Wax, an absolute banger of a horror movie. I loved it when it came out, but I feel like I love it more as time passes. As a fan of teen soapy shows, the fact that it has Chad Michael Murray and Jared Padalecki in it, kind of iconic. And Alicia Cuthbert is, I love her so much. She's in one of my favorite romantic comedies, The Girl Next Door. So she also holds a special place in my heart. Maybe we shortlist House of Wax. This one is the standard. Teens get lost trying to take a shortcut on a road trip, find a town made completely of wax, and the slashing ensued. Post-haste. Signs. Probably my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. But I will say I tend to enjoy this one more in the summertime, for whatever reason. I just think that the craftsmanship of this movie is amazing. I watched the behind the scenes on it where M. Night Shyamalan shots versus the actual shots. The way that he had seen the entire movie in his head before he shot it. I know a lot of directors work that way. Kind of reminded me of the way that Wes Anderson is so meticulous in the pre-planning of his movies, like down to he knows the music that's going to be in each scene. I've never had an idea live in my brain the way that this one clearly lived in M. Night Shyamalan's brain. Like, he saw it so completely, and that's really cool to me. It's just kind of a lovely story about fate, faith, belief, and I do want to believe in aliens, that is. I don't think that's the vibe for Halloween, though. Okay, 7. I've been thinking about this movie a lot recently, for no reason. I definitely think this is going on the short list. It's this and House of Wax on the short list so far. This is about a serial killer patterning each murder off of one of the 7 deadly sins, and Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman play the detectives on the case. The way the story unfolds is absolutely gripping and very scary, so I think this one's going on the short list. Disturbia, a classic horror movie from my high school memories. Like, I saw it in theater, I think, when it came out with my friends, and I loved it so much. I have not rewatched this in a while. Maybe I do that, but not on Halloween, I don't think. Another classic from high schoolish era. Maybe this came out early college, but The Haunting in Connecticut, with one of my favorite actors, whose name is going to escape me, but he was in Dinner in America. Kyle Gallagher. Did I get it? Kyle Gallagher. Fact check me. Editing me. This one is classic family moves into a haunted house. The son, the oldest son in the family, is undergoing cancer treatment, and the veil, and my refrigerator turned off. The veil is thin, and there's a lot of paranormal experiences and a mystery to solve. And it's based on a true story. This is one where I've watched it a lot of times, and I watched it with the filmmaker commentary. I think there was one with the director and one with the actors. I've watched them all. I really like this movie. I don't think my husband likes these sort of haunted possession-y style movies as much, so we'll skip this one for Halloween. Cabin Fever, I personally think, is one of the scariest movies ever made. It taps into some of my greatest fears. The body horror, they say it's an unrelenting, gruesomely funny bloodbath. I don't think it was funny. This movie is so scary to me, and I have not watched it in a really long time. So maybe we shortlist this one. That could be fun. I think my husband would enjoy this one, and I haven't seen it in so long that it would kind of be like watching it for the first time again. We'll shortlist Cabin Fever. Friends go camping in the woods. There's something in the water. They slowly get infected one by one, and their bodies fall apart. It's horrific and so scary, and maybe I don't actually want to watch that. Let's see what else we've got. Next up is Murder by Numbers. It's about these 2 high school kids who decide to try to pull off the perfect murder. Sandra Bullock is the investigator on the case, the detective on the case. Fun fact, this movie kickstarted my obsession in high school with Michael Pitt, who I don't necessarily condone as a role model, but I did go down the rabbit hole and watch like every movie he's ever been in. Also starring Ryan Gosling. A very well done whodunit, similar to 7, but a lot less dark. It's high school based in California, where 7 is set in gritty New York City with a detective who's about to retire and a younger guy. So the vibes are similar. It's this terrifying suspense thriller where the most frightening childhood fears become real when they return to stake their claim. A psychology student who experienced night terrors as a child must face the chilling realization that her nightmares were not all in her head. And when she finds others who shared similar experiences, they together discover the most frightening truth of all. The monsters in their closets marked them as children and are now returning to collect them. Even reading that, I have no memory of that. So, I don't think I want to risk it for Halloween, but I should probably watch that again. This is another classic, The Crazies. Small country town, folks start acting real strange. It's got Timothy Oliphant as the sheriff of this small town, and follows him and his wife trying to escape the town before it is purged. Very classic, kind of zombie infection movie vibe. So if that's your jam, you probably love this. It was really well done. I've rewatched it a bunch. I don't think I want to watch it this Halloween, but it's really good. Then I have Night Watch with Ewan McGregor, Josh Brolin, Patricia Arquette, and Nick Nolte. And I'm pretty sure this is a movie where Ewan McGregor is he's taken an overnight security job watching like a morgue. McGregor is a cash-strapped law student trying to make easy money as a night watchman at the Old City morgue, but Martin's peaceful graveyard shift fast becomes a time of terror when a serial killer begins wreaking havoc after hour and leaving behind clues pointing to his own guilt. I haven't watched this in many, many years. I don't want to watch it on Halloween, but I do want to rewatch this fall. Just because I remember it was pretty well done. A freaking like one of the most classic. This is Dawn of the Dead. This was the 2004 remake. Zombie outbreak ensues. Probably one of my favorite zombie outbreak openings in any movie ever. The girl with the roller skates, if you know, you know. A group of strangers takes refuge in a mall. All is well until it's not. My husband's not the biggest fan of zombie movies in general, so I don't think this is right for Halloween, but if you're into zombie movies, I highly recommend watching this one. Carriers is another, kind of like The Crazies, like a virus outbreak. Your biggest fear is other people because you don't know who's infected and who's not. It has Chris Pine, Piper Perabo of Coyote Ugly fame. I think this is one of my favorite, like, virus movies. It's really human. The scary parts of it are from, like, the humanity of it, if that makes sense. When COVID broke out and we all had to wear masks, I thought about this movie a lot. They all wear masks and have drawn on like different smiley faces over top of them. Something about that, like trying to make something really scary and messed up funny. This story is so human and realistic to me, and yeah, I really love Carriers. I don't think it's the right vibe for Halloween night this year, but that's another one I should rewatch this fall. Moving into vampire territory, we've got Interview with the Vampire. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater. Not the vibe right now. I maybe rewatch this like every 5 to 7 years, and I'm like, wow, that was really well done, but I'm not in the spirit of this particular film right now. The Lost Boys, though, this is such a special movie to me. It's from the 80s. It is perfect. One of like the most iconic horror movies that I can think of in my head is The Lost Boys. And this one's very nostalgic for me because when I was younger, like elementary school, every year on Halloween, we'd get home from trick-or-treating, and I always remember this movie being on TV 6 and 7. Yeah, okay. Dream House. I think this is one of the last scary movies that I bought. I remember I bought it without having seen it. I just thought it seemed interesting. Daniel Craig, Naomi Watts, and Rachel Weisz. I've never watched this. I bought it and then I guess I just didn't watch it. If you've seen this, leave me a comment below and let me know. Not for Halloween, but I really should watch it if I've never seen it and I bought it. I used to do that sometimes. I'd go to my local video store. I would just walk up and down the horror aisle, and if a cover looked interesting to me, sometimes I'd just blind buy it without knowing anything about it. More often than not, that did not work out in my favor, so I do have some weird horror movies in my collection, probably in the last binder, where I'm like, this movie was not great. Okay, and then we have kind of a curveball. This is season 1 of The River, the first and last season of this show, but I and my college roommates were obsessed with this show. We watched it every week as it came out. It's about a guy whose dad is kind of like Steve Irwin, like an adventurer explorer, and had a TV show and disappeared. And this show, kind of documentary style, following his son